What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, February 22nd, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30 winner, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Gettys.
Let him host. It's Cool Greg's birthday eve, everybody. So get excited.
So now here's where I probably made a mistake, but let's talk it through, everybody. Got on the bus today to come to work, sat down next to me, a little dime bag with a little nug in it. And I was like, oh, drugs on the bus. Ugh, San Francisco. Ugh. And I was like, then I got off the bus and I just left them there. And I was like, man, should I have thrown them away? Should I have turned them over to the police? I was because I didn't want a child getting it. I didn't want a child getting it.
Not advisable, Greg Miller.
Oh, it was on the seat. It wasn't on the ground. And then I was like, oh shit, should I have brought it to Cool Greg?
Man. Well, I'm happy you didn't do that.
Yeah, because I don't want like just random drugs going to Cool Greg. You know what I mean? Even if they're legal-ish now. I don't
wish
know.
Him a happy birthday eve.
Don't tell him about he'll never watch this episode though, so don't tell him about how I didn't get money. I haven't seen you all week.
The buses.
We haven't done the show all week together. How you doing?
I'm good. This is a great day to have me on. Very excited for this one.
Yeah, right? Jeez, man. You want to talk about a packed Roper report. I mean, it's just pages after pages after pages of good and bad news. It's all sorts of scroll. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Today we'll be talking about how Xbox might be coming to Switch, Reggie retiring from Nintendo, and a whole bunch of layoffs, sadly. If you didn't know, Kinda Funny Games Daily comes to you each and every weekday with the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Bronze tier members get to post their questions, comments, concerns, bad PSN names, and everything else under the video game sun. Then you can watch us record it live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody listening later on podcast services around the globe, and everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and roosterteeth.com. What's that? You hate the ads we put on those versions? Well, if you go to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, you can get it as a silver member. That's right, no ads in either MP3 or video format. Woo! Thank you. I saw Barrett warming up for something there. I knew he was going to say something, and then it was just a very tiny woo. Housekeeping for you right after today. We'll finish this show. Screencast will begin. After Screencast, we're streaming Anthem. Eating pizza
with Sean the Shark Chomp Finnegan.
No shit, Sean Finnegan's in?
Sean Finnegan's here.
Did you pre-record this? Where is he?
I don't know. He's gonna.
He better come over. Does he have a job? What's he doing?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, we will figure it out. Screencast, Anthem, pizza, and beer. Thank you to our Patreon producers: Tom Bach, TJ Meehan, Joe Beezer, Trevor Starkey, Mohammed, and Blackjack. Today we're brought to you by Robinhood Third Love, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
And they're fucking huge, and they're serious stories. But so before we get to that, Kevin, what do you have?
Is it okay if I close your Anthem?
You can turn off the PlayStation 4, do whatever you need to do.
I'm going to log in and play a little bit.
Perfect. Do your thing, Kev. Number 1 on the Roper Report is Xbox coming to the Nintendo Switch. If only somebody who had a daily gaming show and a weekly gaming podcast said this all the time. And then y'all act so fucking surprised. Imran Khan over at Game Informer reports. According to a report from outlet Direct Feed Games, they're a YouTube video, which is why I'm pulling in a written one, obviously, for what we're doing. Feel how cold my hands are.
Oh, I'm so warm. That felt good.
An outlet that has a strong track record for rumors, especially centering around Nintendo, Microsoft, especially centering around Nintendo. Microsoft and Nintendo are about to get together in a big way in the near future. Not only will some Microsoft games find their way to the Switch, but it looks like the entire Game Pass library might arrive via the magic of streaming. The report states that Microsoft is looking into publishing some of their own catalog to the Switch in the form of actual ports. This is in no way strange for Microsoft, who has dabbled in things like lending out Rare for games on Nintendo systems and developing and publishing games on Nintendo consoles such as Minecraft. Microsoft-owned developers like Ninja Theory and Obsidian are still self-publishing their games on the Switch and other systems as well. The game, specifically mentioned by Direct Feed, is Ori and the Blind Forest, a crown jewel in Microsoft's lower-key publishing initiatives. Additionally, the report goes on to say that Microsoft will be leveraging their announced Project xCloud streaming service to bring Xbox One games to the Switch. While the Switch can't natively play, as a hypothetical example, Gears 5, it could stream it over the internet. This will be done through Game Pass, which allows players to subscribe to a service to access a Netflix-style library of games. In talking with our own sources, it has been suggested that the announcement of Game Pass on Switch could come as soon as this year. This isn't surprising, as Microsoft has been eager to expand Game Pass out as far as they can, announcing plans to revamp it for PC. Project xCloud is a means to an end to get people who don't own Xbox products to spend money on Xbox services, making the Switch the perfect vector for it. For Nintendo, it means games that are unfeasible on the console due to hardware limitations can come to the Switch in some form and provide an added value for them. This particular avenue is also not new to Nintendo, who has been experimenting with using cloud streaming as a way to play technologically demanding games for a few months now in Japan. Games like Resident Evil 7 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey have Switch ports in Japan, streaming a special version from a local server. Game Pass on the Switch would be no different. Hot damn, it's happening! Maybe.
That's the thing. Is
grain
like,
of salt.
Like, do you think it's happening?
Yes, I do. I mean, I've been saying it without any inside knowledge or any source telling me that like, I thought it was pretty clear this is what Xbox have been talking about. When they came out and they did the Project xCloud announcement video.
The Play Anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. But that was a bridge too far. When they announced Project xCloud and they really started talking about streaming, and I was like, this has got to be it. And this is what I was talking about and why it's so exciting right now to be video game fans, let alone pundits in it, right? Xbox is so hungry to win. They're going to do or catch up to PlayStation, right? To even be able to stand toe to toe with PlayStation, is that they're ready to make seemingly crazy deals that you would never have expected, right? Or back in the day. I remember when we used to talk about the PS Wii, right? Is what we would talk about. Well, if you got a PS3 and you got a Wii, it'd be the same, but Xbox was so far ahead with 360, it didn't matter. Now that they're behind, they're making not crazy decisions, but bold decisions. And that's why I got so excited when they announced Xbox Scarlet, when the rumors of Xbox Scarlet started. I got so excited when they announced xCloud, and now that they're here, yes, I think when I heard that they were streaming games in Japan, right? Not Xbox, but Nintendo in general, you really sat there and thought of like, man, this makes so much sense in America to do it this way.
I am so interested to see how this ends, because we know that Xbox Live, there's an app or there's whatever coming to the Switch. We know that they're going to talk about it at GDC.
Yeah.
GDC sounds very soon to be talking about any of this type of stuff.
I don't think they're going to talk about this. I think.
What do you think they're talking about?
GDC at Xbox Live, I think they're going to run developers through the SDK and be like, hey, here's how Xbox Live will work on the Switch and what you can do with it and how you can take the games you're porting over there or bringing over there or making for the Switch and use our infrastructure to have friendless achievements, trophies, time into a greater ecosystem than just the Nintendo Switch home console, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the power of it, is making that seem more alive. And I think, as I said when we were talking about it last week, right? I feel that's tip of the sword for the first initiative of what Xbox is doing there. And I guess technically you could say Minecraft or crossplay, stuff like that is the tip of the sword. But this is the first time where Xbox and Nintendo are working so closely.
So here's the thing. It's the Xbox and Nintendo side of it that I'm most interested in the details, because it's hard to imagine once you start, like when you look at just this and like from above, you're like, okay, I can see this working. But then when you start asking yourself questions, it starts to make less sense for why Nintendo specifically would want to do this. So if every Game Pass game can be played on the Switch, why would people buy the third-party titles that are there? Is this going to be a limited thing that's just the first-party titles? At what point does it get too confusing to understand?
Let's bring in a young boy named Ignacio Rojas, who wrote into patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says, Buenos dias, Games Daily. With the rumor mill going strong after Microsoft announced Xbox Live was coming to Nintendo Switch, a lot of people have seen this as Xbox possibly bringing its library to the console. But a question no one has asked yet is, what is in it for Microsoft? Let's not forget Microsoft is a company, and every decision a company makes is to make more money. So with this in mind, Microsoft bringing its games to the Switch doesn't make much sense. It's too much of a half measure. Why have your exclusive games on another console? Doesn't this make your own console less appealing? Why only the Switch and not PS4? Why not go full third party? If there's even less of a reason to buy your console on which you lose money on every unit made. Is there something I'm not seeing? I'd like your opinion on this. Anyways, keep up the awesome work. And Tim, watch the movie. It's Zoe Deutsch.
Zoe Deutsch. Yeah,
what is he talking about?
We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it.
So he's asking about Microsoft. You're asking about Nintendo, and I think the answer is money for both of them. I think for Nintendo, it's a win of, yeah, great, you can't play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on our thing, but you can. Nintendo wants you using their console as much as humanly possible, right? I think for Xbox, it's a great way to capitalize on the fact of, yeah, great, you have Switch, you buy Xbox Game Pass, you're playing the games there, there's going to be latency. You're streaming it, right? And like xCloud is the whole thing of like, maybe there won't be, they think they fixed it and all this stuff, and I hope they have. But you're streaming there, and I think for the hardcore gamer in quotes, right, it becomes the Trojan horse thing of like, oh, cool, I would definitely get Xbox. I already have the Xbox Game Pass. I would definitely download it on my Switch, right, and then I'm going to be playing stuff, and I'm going to be doing stuff, and it's going to be cool. I'm using the Switch when I'm at a hotel or when I'm at work to play this game, right? Or when I'm out with friends. When I go back home, let's say I didn't have an Xbox game or I didn't have an Xbox at home, I think you're going to do that, pop in your Switch, and it isn't going to be HD. It isn't going to be as great a service. Obviously, on Xbox One, you can download the games from Xbox Game Pass. You're not going to be able to do that on Switch. They're going to need the streaming technology, right? So I think that it actually becomes a Trojan horse of, just like what I was talking about with PlayStation Plus, just like I was talking about with Xbox Live Games for Gold, if they were to add VR to PlayStation Plus, it's going to become this Trojan horse of, fuck, I'm really enjoying this and playing way more than I thought I would. Maybe I will buy the rumored Xbox 2, the Xbox Scarlet that they're talking about, or the way of rumors and the questions about it, that is just a digital box. Maybe I will buy an Xbox One S that is a box where I can download the game there and have it natively and then take my progress on the road and go do all these different things.
I mean, all of that is so exciting, and I hope that that's what ends up happening. Like, imagining being able to play Cuphead on Switch, let's fucking go.
I mean, and Ori natively,
Ori,
right?
That would be so awesome. But for me, it's like when the question that Ignacio wrote in, talking about the third party thing, I feel like what's cool about this is this could create a new type of first party, right? Like, Microsoft has been in the game for so long and, kind of dominated for a generation. And whether or not they're losing this generation, they still have very amazing hardware out 100%. There that people are buying. And not even just the system, the controllers and all the other things that people love. Yeah. So it's like they have that kind of foothold in the industry already. So them doing this, it kind of makes them the most baller third party of all time if they're just on every platform and have their own thing. At the end of the day, hardware isn't the thing making money for any of these guys, right? It's like that, whether or not they're being sold at a loss, that doesn't mean that they're profiting like crazy amounts of money for how much needs to go into making these things.
It's the attach rate, right? It's you buying the games.
Exactly. And with Xbox with Games Pass, it's a subscription service, so you're not even buying the games. It's just them trying to get you to stay hooked into the service forever. And like, that's not rocket science. We've seen it happen now with every industry besides games when it comes to entertainment. Right? It's like it happened with music, it happened with movies and TV, and now it's going to happen to games. This is a lot sooner than I expected it to be going down. And I think that the Switch is like, I think this is the thing that we're talking about. I'm so excited about just because it's video games, but it's like, I feel like this is going to be a much bigger deal on mobile and on computers and laptops.
Cloud streaming, the xCloud.
And then even the Game Pass, if that does come to those things, it's like there's a lot more functionality there because there's limits to what the Switch can do. So that's the thing, is like, Games Pass on Switch or Games Pass on mobile or anything that people just have access to is going to be great for Xbox because it's pure profit. Right. They don't need to sell a console. And also all the people that are like, I'm not spending $300 on this. Cool. But I will spend
buy the $10 Game Pass and buy a controller.
Exactly.
There you go. And now you're playing on your phone. You're playing on your PC. You're playing
exactly. And to see where they're at right now with the amount of deals of like $2 gets you a month or whatever it is, like, and they're constantly doing that. They're trying to just get people in, man. Like they have a vision. They have a plan for where they're going,
and they're aggressive about it, and they believe in it. That's the biggest thing, and they're promoting it, and they're there. Yeah.
And that's why I get the Xbox side. The Nintendo side, though, I brought up the Xbox Game Pass list. It's like Rocket League. So why would people buy Rocket League on Switch? You know,
I hear you, but I feel like when you look right there, like, and I know they can't see it because it's on your computer, right? Look, we're looking at Marvel vs. Capcom. This is just what's on your screen. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, We Happy Few, Apex, Just Cause 3, Mortal Kombat 10, PES, Rocket League, Forza, right? It's Rocket League, and then is there an Arc version on Switch? I don't even know if there is Arc Evolved on Switch.
I think it's not out yet, but I think
kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, right? Like, it's...
But that's my thing is, yes, you're looking at 8 games, but then go up and it's like, okay, Walking Dead complete first season. Then if you keep going, it's like there are more games. And they
but I think, but even then, like, we scrolled down their line, right? Like,
there's 3-4 games.
Sure, but
that adds up though. It's like, that is so much potential money that Nintendo's now not making. Xbox doesn't care because they're still making money off of it. That's the thing that I'm like, there would need to be some deal. And at what point is it not worth it to Microsoft to partner with Nintendo this way, because they're taking what percentage? You know what I mean? Like there has to be some type of financial
There is
incentive
money
to
going
Nintendo.
to Nintendo for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be,
Payday.
is it in-app purchases? Like if if I download the Game Pass app, am I then, going through if I download the Game Pass app and I go into the Game Pass thing and I go to pay for it, am I using the traditional Nintendo system where the coins pop and all that other crap? If so, then that's where they're getting the money off of it, right?
And that would be very interesting. And I'd love to see that happen. And look at Nintendo. I mean, with the Switch Online, right? Like they are already dabbling very slowly in this type of system where it's like you do have this entire collection of NES games. You don't need to buy individually. They're all there. And seeing that expand, what if that comes to Xbox as well?
Right. Yeah, that'd be awesome too. Nanobiologist points out Ark is out on Switch. It was released November 30th, 2018. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's sticking points, but I feel like the overwhelming majority of Game Pass games on there aren't a conflict of interest, if you will. And I feel like Xbox and Nintendo must be having a conversation of what that would look like, how much they're paying Nintendo, and vice versa, and how this is all working out. I think it's all upside, and I really do think it is a great. I think again, this is what I've said before. I know I'm in the Sony ecosystem and I love PlayStation, right? What I've said before is I think out of anything, I'm an Xbox fanboy because I do cheer for them, and I do hope. I keep hoping that what they're doing is going to pay off and the foundation they've laid. This is the next step to it of like what we just talked about with the phone, with the computer, with everything of like having the app everywhere, having it ready to go, having it actually work. Ignacio Rojas wrote in a couple times this week. And it didn't make the show because the conversation wasn't there. It is here now. Of Greg, you're always so bullish on Xbox and this streaming system and all this stuff. It's already happening on PlayStation. You already have the Remote Play app on PC. You already have PlayStation Now on PlayStation 4. Why aren't you talking about that like this? For me, the missing point of what's currently exists is the fact of what Xbox is talking about with the xCloud, right? Where it's going to be, no, it's on my phone and it is a thing. No, we're running them off Azure servers. Remote Play for me, right? I tried to make, I've seen Ignacio's question and I wanted to do more testing because I haven't tested it since playing on the Vita, you know what I mean? Well, that kind of thing. And I tried to get in yesterday. Oh, I hadn't registered the computer. I called Jen. I had her go in the living room, turn it on, give me the code. It wouldn't register for some reason. Great. All right. Well, maybe that needs to be in the same room for setup, whatever. It's still relying on pinging my PlayStation back at home. So it's the Wi-Fi in the office. It's the Wi-Fi at my house. It's my PlayStation at my house. It's communicating with, getting back. Xbox gets exciting. And this is all purely based on their video and why I'm excited about it. But running on the fastest, craziest Wi-Fi or internet in the world, these Azure servers, it's a fucking Xbox One X plugged into these things. It's streaming it out that way. They're talking about the coming of 5G and whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm excited about the future because I feel like PlayStation, while not living in the past by any stretch of the imagination, isn't what they're talking about yet. It isn't where they're talking about. And PlayStation Now isn't on my phone. I'm not plugging a controller in wirelessly and playing on my phone and playing anywhere and playing nice with a Nintendo Switch.
So let's take this a little deeper. We look at the last couple years. There was Minecraft. There was these different partnerships here and there. Also, I love that this gives hope back to Banjo in Smash. But with all these things happening, and then recently it was announced that you're gonna have to help me out here. But the game that was announced at Game Awards.
Can I stop real quick? Sorry.
Yes.
Ignacio says, when I wrote in, I wasn't talking about Remote Play on PC. PS Now is on PC. No need to ping your console. The games I want to play, Ignacio, are not on PlayStation Now. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm looking for the latest and greatest hits I want to play, I'm talking about new things, similar to Xbox Game Pass, having all the first-party games in there, having so many deals with third parties as their games drop. Like right now, if I wanted to play Anthem, right, I'm not streaming Anthem off of PlayStation Now. I'm streaming it off the PlayStation at home, connecting different devices. That's what I'm excited. I'm not excited about the future of this Xbox streaming platform and me streaming Fallout 3. I'm excited about me playing the latest thing and just having all my clouds and all my saves in the cloud and all my shit just there automatically sunk. Another thing PlayStation sucks at. I digress.
Can you believe that Games Pass is real? Like, in the last year, everything changed. Yeah. Every first-party Microsoft title is now a subscription-based thing. Like, that's some bullshit ass get hype moments of like this will happen. No, it's not gonna happen.
Everyone here hears it too much, but I mean, we're in like we're sleeping on like a huge pivot point in the industry. Like, so it's gonna be fucking nuts to see what it looks like in 5 years.
Yeah, and 2 years. Like, if this is happening this fast, because what it takes is the one group that is important and that matters, the key players to take that risk and run forward, to jump across the line. And then everyone else is forced to catch up. And like that's what we're seeing here. And it's going to be very interesting. But what I was saying is it's from the people that made New Vegas.
Obsidian.
Yes. What's the new game?
Outer Wilds.
Yes, and
I
it's
always fuck it up because there's Outer Lands, the place I like to eat at. There's Outer Wilds. Then there's an Into the Wild. Yeah, a whole bunch of
and it's coming to PlayStation as well.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like that's interesting. Like, why would they do that? And we just keep going on with, with news.
Same
that comes
thing
out
with
day to day. And then Senua's Sacrifice now coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like they've been kind of lightly just doing these things, and it's like it's always been weird, and like all of that feels like we can write it off as like, oh, that must have been
Outer Worlds.
Outer
I
Worlds.
said Outer Wilds. Fuck
that must have been before the big Microsoft Studio push, or like those deals were pre-existing.
And I think that it's more the fact that we bought you Obsidian. Cool. We've already been working on this game, and we already have agreements, and just that, okay, well, fine, you got to publish that game. We get that.
So there's that, but it's like now as all this is happening, it's like, is that the truth? Is that the full truth? Was that the truth, and has that now changed?
Sure.
Right? Like with these ideas of maybe Ori and the Blind Forest coming to Switch natively, like that to me is entirely upside. Yes, do that. That makes sense, right? Like what would get interesting is if they add some type of play anywhere functionality where if you buy it on Switch, you can also get it on the other systems, which I guess wouldn't matter because of Games Pass.
Yeah.
Like you would have it there, assuming everyone has Games Pass, which I know they don't. But I feel like Xbox is doing their damnedest to make sure that people are getting in with all the free trials and the cheap ass entry points and all that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And to the other point too of like your question, I think was about, very specifically, why would Nintendo, not specifically, what's in it for Nintendo if y'all can already get Rocket League somewhere else, right? I do think that, again, what is Nintendo's fighting, as well as, I mean, not really fighting because Nintendo's always in its own boat, but what everybody's fighting for, right, is mind share and screen time. I do think there's something to be said for, like one of the examples in the xCloud video they put up was one of the guys from Xbox talking about the fact, it's great, my son walks in, he wants to use the Xbox, and I can just hop on my phone and keep playing there, right? I'm sure Nintendo would much rather Jen wants to keep watching Umbrella Academy on the TV, right? And so I hop off and I put it to my Switch. You know what I mean? Like I'm still using that device rather than giving up a screen to the phone to find another phone or get distracted by Twitter or stay off of my Nintendo Switch, right? If you're on the device, if you have a soft spot for the device, there's more of a chance you're going to buy things and you're going to be more invested in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this might be a bridge too far. It probably is.
Don't do it, Greg.
I'm not going to say, well, it's not crazy. I mean, maybe Xbox Game Pass will only work if you have a Nintendo Switch Online. That doesn't make a lot of sense because Nintendo Online is for playing games online. But I don't know if it might be a way to keep making Nintendo money and also let you get in there. I'm not sure. And it would also be even saying it as a pretty cruddy decision that you get a lot of shit for online. I'm sure.
Yeah, and also you get $20 a year. Like that. Still, I don't think Nintendo that would benefit them that much in the long run. It's so interesting. So then my next question is, if let's say that Ori does come natively to the Switch, and that Cuphead eventually comes with the DLC, and I get Rock Hard, and it comes to the Switch.
Yeah, dude.
And then they keep doing things like that with choice games, because obviously Gears 5's not coming natively. Like that can't even happen. Yesterday I tweeted out about Master Chief Collection. Like that's not even going to happen. Like that would need to be.
It could, Tim. Don't doubt it.
God, I'd want it so bad, but like that's just not going to happen.
Sure.
But if they kept going with anything that could happen, at what point are they just the most glorified third party in the world? And at what point do the third parties just do the same thing? At what point does Ubisoft just go, hey, we're going to use Microsoft's cloud system and whatever PlayStation ends up doing and whatever? It's like, yeah, Ubisoft Game Pass, bitches. Like, you pay and you get it everywhere. Yeah. Right? And like, that's how we do it. You know what I mean? Like, and then at what point is Ubisoft different than Microsoft? Does that matter?
Yeah. I mean, the thing it would come down to, right, and this is not apples and oranges, but who has the tech behind it? You know what I mean? PlayStation, for moving on PlayStation Now, right, bought Gaikai. Xbox is working with Microsoft, obviously, and that's a banana working with its peel. But there's definitely people there who are working on streaming technology. Does Ubisoft want to do that? Do they want to partner? Do they want to create their own? Do they want to buy, like to do that and have their own streaming service? How many streaming services are too much? But what actually gets interesting is it becomes kind of, in this perfect world that may or may never happen, it would almost become an arms race too then, because at GDC every year there's the ID at Xbox thing where they take over. They have that Xbox Lounge downtown. You go there, and then here's a million indie games or like smaller games that they're publishing to their platforms that are coming out, and yada yada yada. And some of them aren't published by Microsoft. But suddenly, if the Microsoft deal becomes, hey, yeah, we're gonna put you're an Xbox exclusive, which means your Xbox Game Pass, which means you also get on Switch, like. That becomes a more, not lucrative, but definitely a more enticing deal, I think, than, hey, I'm going to be an indie where I'm on one platform, and maybe it's only for a little bit of time, maybe it's these different things. You get into an interesting, who do I go to have my game published? Who do I partner with to have an exclusivity window?
Let me throw a
wrench in the works
Got here, Greg. Google.
Yeah.
They're making some announcements.
Yeah. GDC.
What if they announced a streaming platform that companies can use?
Well, the rumor I saw on Reset Era, right, was that because this has been what is the Google thing going to be? There was a headline. It's just so much stuff. There's another rumor. There's so many rumors going right now that Google was talking about, or the rumor now is that they're actually going to have a box that they're going to do at GDC, rather than what I was thinking or hoping for. It would just be the streaming technology.
But see, I think you can't have the box without the technology. So I think that the box is like, it's going to happen. I feel like it needs to happen to make this matter to the public.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just tech and everyone's like, all right. Like with this, it's like, what's xCloud? Until it's in service and people are seeing it happen, it's just gibberish, right? Whereas if there's a box in front of you, if there's a box being promoted and sold, all of a sudden I think that the general public goes, oh, this is important. It reminds me of like Chromecast and Fire Stick.
Well, see, that's my biggest thing. Is what I think I was talking to Andrea this week. If the box is just, hey, it's this USB dongle that you plug into your TV, and it's like tiny, and it'll stream all the games like you've seen before, and it'll give you Google Chromecast and blah blah. Because like I bought Gen 1 Chromecast, wasn't impressed on like launch day, and never really used it again.
My house has 3 Chromecast Ultras in it, and like a lot of my friends all have. It's like, to me, that it's such a pivotal piece of technology that is just like ubiquitous to a living room now.
Yeah.
Like and it's all because they took technology that already existed, but made it work and made it a product, right? It's like, I feel like people are ready and willing to, and like, I know I'm not a good example because I'm in this shit, but it's like my friends are not, and like they know that stuff is important for their modern living rooms, for the amount that they stream and all of that. And I feel like with Google, like it could be a very, very interesting power play. Like they've been working in the background, it's not like this is just coming out of nowhere and they're like, oh, me too. It's like, we don't know what they're doing. We can guess, and I feel like it's pretty easy to start guessing and piecing things together. But yeah, man, if they come out with the product that allows you to have it in multiple places, and then there's the technology that can either help Microsoft or help PlayStation or help everyone.
Yeah,
very exciting times.
Yeah, we're on the cusp of something here, and I'm very excited to see where it all goes. Number 2 on the Roper Report: sad, heartbreaking news. But like sad in like a bittersweet way, not like a sad way. We got sad stories coming up. Instead, Reggie is retiring from Nintendo.
Yesterday, I was in the front of the office.
Games Daily had been off the air for about 3 minutes.
3 seconds, dude. And then this happens and you scream from the back room. You're like, Tim, fuck, Reggie just retired.
Yeah.
And like, I had so much shit going on that I responded. I was like, oh my God. But it was like, I didn't have time to let it sink in.
Yeah.
Last night when I went home and I watched his video.
God, his goodbye video.
It hit me so hard where I was just like, I was legitimately tearing up.
Me too.
I'm just like, oh my God, like, he has been so important to the industry, so important to Nintendo, something that I love so much, and so pivotal in their decisions that led to where we're at today
100%.
With the Switch and with how happy I am with their lineup and with everything. And it's just, the industry doesn't have enough faces. Like, I feel like there's so many people that are so important to these things that we love, but there are only, I would say, and it's growing now, maybe 3 handfuls of people that the industry at large knows their face, knows their voice, knows like their personality. And I feel like Reggie is top 3.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Dominant over the last 15 years. And, we had that moment at Game Awards and like that meant something to so many people.
Yeah.
And he is a pivotal part in that, no discredit to Phil Spencer or Sean Layden.
Oh, no.
But like Reggie's the guy.
He's been there.
Reggie is the archetype
there, right?
of which they are now mimicking.
Sure.
Right. It's a beautiful thing, and it's very, I think, sad to see him go. But hey, it's for great reasons. I know you're going to read this, so I'm skipping ahead a little bit. But like, I really, really love and appreciate that this, for the first time in my memory, is a big name person at one of these companies leaving to go spend time with his family. He's retiring. It's good news. There's no Me Too shit. There's no layoffs. There's no like, oh, we're not doing well, so like I need to cut my budget for this or whatever.
It's like thing.
It's like yeah, it's like, this is good news, right? This is somebody that did a great job for a long time and is just like, you know what? It's my time to go. Great strip.
He's going to Google. Don't trust it. It's all a lie. And Jack Trent didn't leave for any of that, right? He just bounced. He's just like, I mean, he did more. He's doing stuff now, but I mean, Reggie's going to do something again.
Yeah.
This isn't the last we've heard of Big Reg.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guaranteed. Anyways, here's the official statement from Nintendo. After more than 15 notable years at Nintendo of America and nearly 13 as its president and COO, Reggie Fils-Aimé will retire. His last day with Nintendo will be April 15th. Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America's current senior vice president of sales and marketing, will succeed Reggie as president of Nintendo of America. Quote, Nintendo owns a part of my heart forever, Reggie said. It's a part that is filled with gratitude for the incredibly talented people I've worked with, for the opportunity to represent such a wonderful brand, and most of all, to feel like a member of the world's most positive and enduring gamer community. As I look forward to departing in both good health and good humor, this is not game over for me, but instead leveling up to more time with my wife, family, and friends. Reggie started at Nintendo of America in 2003 as its executive vice president of sales and marketing and became its president and COO in May 2006. His time with Nintendo began during the Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance era. His leadership of Nintendo's largest territory expanded the audience for Nintendo products as phenomena like Nintendogs, Brain Age, Wii Sports, and Wii Fit brought millions of new players to the world of video games. Reggie's management led to record-breaking sales for products like the Nintendo DS, Wii, Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo Switch systems. At the same time, he communicated innovative new product features to a mass audience via his strong and affable personality, making him a favorite of media, members of the video game industry, and Nintendo fans alike. During his tenure, Nintendo of America has expanded its physical presence in the U.S., having established a key sales and marketing office in Redwood City, California, and built a new Nintendo of America headquarters in Redmond, Washington, that has received awards for its environmentally friendly design. Bowser is an industry event who joined Nintendo of America in May 2015 as the vice president of sales before being promoted to senior vice president of sales and marketing the next year. During his time with Nintendo, Bowser led the sales and marketing efforts for Nintendo Switch, which became the fastest selling video game system of this hardware generation through 21 months, according to NPD Group. Previously, Bowser was an executive with the industry powerhouse Electronic Arts, most recently as the company's vice president of global business planning. He also worked at Procter & Gamble in various sales leadership roles in Asia, Latin America, and the U.S.
It's amazing. I also love the handoff to Bowser. Bowser.
I know, right?
It
was like yesterday. Okay, like I saw people today still tweeting about it. I'm like, all right, we get it.
Yeah, we get
Bowser,
it.
right?
It's great.
It's funny when you say it out loud, but yeah.
Dude. But I love the kind of send off or baton pass to him. I think that's going to be great. I'm very excited to see how much of a personality Bowser becomes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Is he going to do the same thing as like Reggie?
Yeah, like that could be really interesting. But like, I just want everybody to remember how we were introduced to Reggie.
Okay.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. It's E3 2004. This motherfucker on Nintendo's press conference comes out on stage and says, "My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass, I'm about taking names, and we're about making games."
Yeah.
And then he ended that damn conference being like, "But one more thing, let me bring you back to another world." And then the trailer, things go dark, and Twilight Princess is revealed for the first time.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me? I just got chills.
Yeah.
I have so many chills. Like, that is so cool. And that's the type of personality that I'm talking about. Like, that's the type of leadership and confidence. Like, we're talking about a time where the DS was about to be put out into the world.
Yeah.
Do you know how big they felt their dicks were at that point? With the Wii, with the DS, it's they were about to break through mainstream popularity in a way video games never have before.
Yeah.
And then they had some rough years after that. But it's it doesn't matter. Look where they're at now, right? And it's it wasn't just him, obviously, but I do feel like he was a core piece in all of that. When you look at the directs, when you look at how much Nintendo changed the way that the games are talked about, he was a big part of that.
Curtis Van Imp wrote in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, just like you can, and says, "Hey, Greg and Tim, with the announcement that Reggie is retiring as president of Nintendo of America in a few months, I wanted to ask how you think this change will affect Nintendo going forward. Also, want to take a trip down memory lane and ask what were your favorite Reggie moments over the years. Also, Tim, With this announcement, do you think there's any chance we'll see Nintendo immortalize Reggie and finally make him a Smash Brothers character? Probably as an Echo. After all, Smash is all about celebrating Nintendo history, and what better way to celebrate this iconic Nintendo figure?
That won't happen. I mean, the closest is the Mii's. Like, there was the iconic, when they announced the Mii's in Smash, it was
Reggie, right?
Reggie and Iwata together. And if they didn't put Iwata in, I don't think
exactly. That's the other thing, too, if they haven't done that for him.
But yeah, favorite moments. I mean, I just said mine. Like, that was so iconic.
I'll never forget the direct where it was all the Muppets.
Yeah.
When I had all the...
Will you never forget
I'll never forget it. That was it, man.
Star Fox Zero?
Yeah. Hey, man, what do you want me to do? I don't care about the games. I was just talking about cool Muppet Reggie.
That was, if I remember correctly, the first E3 that we were kind of funny. Covering it? Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
And
you're right. I was going to say, I remember watching it in the IGN Worm. I remember watching it in the GameSpot Worm.
Yeah. And God, I just remember sitting between you and Colin and just feeling so beat down. And I'm just like, I can't even defend this. Like, there's about like fucking Bowser Skylanders and shit. And I'm just like, God damn it. And then they showed Star Fox Zero. Whatever.
It was just a cute Muppet.
But I will say, one of my favorite Reggie moments was the Mega 64 E3. Because that was amazing.
That was a really good one. What do you think this means for Nintendo's course? Anything going to change here, or
all the kind of shuffling in the C-suite level that we've been seeing in the last couple of years in Nintendo has been interesting. Whether it's from passings or from just like vision. I think it's obvious that they're good decisions so far, right? I think that we're seeing the results of all of that. I never remember the name of the Japanese guy that's in all the directs, but I feel like he's been doing a great job of maintaining a vision for what it means to be Nintendo and maintaining that magic. And I think that they all seem to have that at the utmost priority to them. Doug Bowser's been there forever. Like, he's somebody that, like, every time we read a press release, like after the direct happens, we get Nintendo press releases, and I read every fucking word just to see if there's like new information in it.
Are you talking about Shuntaro Furukawa, president of Nintendo?
No, he's the new one, but there's the other guy, the snappy guy.
I know the snappy guy. I'm right there with you. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Who's the snappy guy? Sorry.
Doug Bowser always has a quote.
Always.
Yeah. And it's always a very, very positive, interesting quote in those press releases right alongside Reggie. Now it will be the main one. I'm excited for that. And
Joran says the person Tim is thinking about is Koizumi. That's right. Okay. It's going to be crazy to see this happen and see him go off and work at Google.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. It's like, do you think that's... what's the percentage chance? Because
working at Google?
Yeah.
I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. I think you would have phrased this differently, and I think you would have left quicker if it wasn't that he is just going to go chill for a while.
Yeah.
But down the line, him and Phil Harrison cracking skulls over at Google. Well, who knows?
Yeah. I'm interested. Personally, selfishly, I'd love for him to go somewhere else. Like, I would like to see what he could do somewhere.
I would like to finally get him on the show.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Does this mean that can finally happen?
Bill Trinan stopping everybody Nintendo related from coming on this show. He's like, not until I come on. I'm like, well, just come down. But he's like, you never invite me. I'm like, I invite you right now. But
dude.
Bill Trinan, get down to San Francisco and do whatever show you want here. Review an Oreo. I don't care. And the drought. Number 3, sad story. We got double layoffs from yesterday. We're going to start with Jason Schreier at Kotaku, where he's talking about Guild Wars 2's ArenaNet. ArenaNet, the studio behind the popular online games Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, informed employees today, that's actually yesterday, that it is planning big layoffs, according to a person who was there. Although ArenaNet did not give out exact numbers, and they may not be yet be finalized, rumors floating around the studio signal that a significant number of people will be let go. The CEO of Korean publisher NCSoft West, which owns ArenaNet, emailed employees this afternoon with the news. Quote, our live game business revenue is declining as our franchises age. Delays in development on PC and mobile have created further drains against our revenue projects, while our operating costs in the West have increased, she wrote. Where we are is not sustainable and is not going to set us up for future success. Yoon, this is the CEO, added that the company plans to cut costs across the organization and restructure across the board, merging ArenaNet and NCSoft's publishing divisions in the process. The restructuring, cost-cutting, and strategic realignments are all being done to secure our tomorrow and to provide the foundation that will allow us to grow and acquire, she wrote. Around 400 people work at ArenaNet, and for the past few years, they've been working on a number of unannounced projects, according to one person familiar with the goings-ons of the company. However, that person said slow development progress, combined with the lack of new games in 2018 and 2019, has led to a financial squeeze. ArenaNet's last release, the Path of Fire expansion for Guild Wars 2, launched in September 2017. Then it was updated last night from Jason. ArenaNet management addressed employees directly in 2 meetings this afternoon, according to people who were there. There's still no word on how many people will be laid off, and most employees are still in limbo as they wait to find out how they'll be affected, parentheses, although some who worked on canceled projects say they're presuming they'll be laid off and are making preparations accordingly. ArenaNet told employees it will be giving out severance of 2 months to anyone losing their jobs, as well as bonus time based on tenure with the company. Then, in Australia, EA's Australian studio Fire Monkeys is getting layoffs. This is from Alex Walker at Kotaku AU. Fire Monkeys, which was created in 2012 after EA merged Iron Monkey Studios and Fire Mint,
Dope.
is one of the largest development houses in Australia. Focused exclusively on mobile development, the company is responsible for making Real Racing 3, as well as The Sims Free Play and Need for Speed No Limits. The studio was also developing Real Racing 4, although it's understood that the project was officially canceled earlier this week. Developers were notified of the layoffs earlier this week. Those impacted were told via individual meetings, while employees that remained were informed via a group meeting, Kotaku Australia understands. One employee who spoke under anonymity said the current atmosphere is so grim that the remaining staff are operating under the assumption the whole studio will eventually be shut down. Quote, no idea how certain tasks will be done at all if I look at who they let go, they said. Unofficial figures on the size of the Australian games industry place the number of staffers at Fire Monkeys at close to 200. A statement this morning from Game Workers Unite Australia originally estimated that 80 to 100 staffers were impacted, but that has since been amended to some 40 to 50 people. A representative from EA stressed that despite concerns, the Fire Monkey offices will continue operating. Quote, this is a group with great pedigree in the live services, and they continue to work on some of our most popular mobile games. The company did not reply with a statement, however, confirming that the studio entered a consultation period to shift focus towards more of our live services. Also, they pointed out too, I deleted here when I was editing, I guess, EA refutes that Real Racing 4 has been canceled. They didn't say, or they didn't answer it. That's not as clear as it sounded originally, but we'll see. So yeah.
As always, sad news.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks that this seems to be just happening at more and more rapid a pace.
Sure.
As of late.
I
don't know, like, if there's a solution, though. You know what I mean? Like, at least not on a immediate level. I just feel like this is a repercussion of a race to the money in so many different sectors. It's like when you look at the different divisions being closed down at these places, it's like there's kind of a through line, right?
Yeah.
It is the all of the development teams that ran to that mobile live gaming stuff 7 years ago. Yeah. And now that's not popping off anymore, it's like this is going to happen. A lot of these people are going to get hired at other companies to make games as a service, and then in 7 years it's going to happen again. It's like,
yeah, it's a cycle, right? And that's what the industry is known for. And this is just it's interesting because there have been so many. I think it's also in recent months here. I think it's also the fact that we're all so hyper aware of it now, as the conversation about unionizing, crunch work, is video game development sustainable? That's been such a hot topic of conversation that these are more glaring when they happen, let alone 2 happening in one day, right? From EA and Guild Wars, like these are big names.
And I think that, these numbers they sound so large and shocking. 200, right? Like 800 with Activision and stuff. And I think that's just a sign of where we're at with video games. They're not 2-man development teams. They're not 100-man development teams.
There's thousands of people.
Thousands of people working on these things. So when they're not getting the returns necessary, or even if there's anything off in the equation, it's like, well, it's all of you. You know what I mean? You can't just pick and choose. And even when they pick and choose, then it creates skeleton crews. And then guess what? Like, this news here, not good for any of these guys. Like, oh, they're going to continue working. For how long?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that's not sustainable.
Yeah, hearts go out to him, obviously. Obviously, there's game jobs on Twitter, the hashtag there that you can go chase down if you're one of the affected, but I'm sure you know that. You're not watching this going, hey, Greg, how do I keep working in the video game industry? You've got people who are talking better to you. So, yeah, just the ongoing thing and a good rule of thumb and a good reminder that people make the games you play and you love. So obviously spread positivity to them. Don't be afraid to buy the games you love. On the opposite side of the spectrum, number 4, futures, and this is the future publishing, right? The writers, photographers, etc. are unionizing. I'm reading from, I believe this is Rebecca Valentine over at gamesindustry.biz. It's definitely gamesindustry.biz. I apologize if I got the wrong writer. Today, the U.S. staffs of 11 publications under the Future PLC banner announced their intent to unionize with the Writers Guild of America's East Chapter. These included gaming publications, PC Gamer and Games Radar, as well as tech publications, Tom's Guide, Tom's Hardware, Tech Radar, and Laptop Mag.
Big fan.
For real?
Of Tom's Guide and Tom's Hardware. Oh, yeah.
Those unionizing include writers, editors, photographers, videographers, copy editors, and social medias from the 11 publications. The group has called for Future to recognize their union so that contract negotiations can begin, with emphasis on fair compensation, severance packages, editorial protections, diversity, and transparency. In an open letter posted to Twitter, the unionizing publications offered further detail of their goals. Quote, Future PLC believes that we all row the boat, that this company's strength is built on the collective efforts of its workers. We believe that ideal is best upheld through a fair, collectively agreed upon contract. We look forward to arriving at that contract through the same sort of teamwork that we devote every day to our verticals, end quote. Good for them. Mm-hmm. Go get them. Obviously a volatile industry all over the place, not only in development, but also in, games journalism, writing, making the publications yourself. Barrett?
What's up?
I'm going to keep my eye on you, all right? Don't you be unionizing over there.
What
are you playing on that Switch? You playing some kind of game about unionizing?
Maybe.
Is it Tetris?
Yeah.
Proud of you, man. Proud of you. And then number 5, rounding out the Roper Report. Guess what? We've passed 100 days since the launch of Fallout 76.
Kind of nuts.
It is kind of nuts. And Bethesda put up a big old update today, a big old letter. I'm going to pull a couple selects from it and then tell you about the 3 big expansions they're talking about. Thanks to your continuous feedback, we have been able to fix many of the top issues and have made numerous improvements to the game. We also make scores of changes under the hood that aren't visible. These include changes to improve performance, detect new exploits, and make the experience smoother for everyone. There's still work to do, but we're happy to report that the game and server stability has increased over 300% since launch. We're thrilled by how much everyone is playing, with an average time of 4 hours a day. However, we know the game had a difficult launch and we've made mistakes along the way. We share in your frustrations when we do. We'll probably make a few more, and when we do, we will work to correct them as quickly as possible. Know that we are fully dedicated to making this game the best it can be, and even more so, a platform for endless Fallout adventures for years to come. To that end, we're excited to announce some of the new free content we've been working on for Fallout 76 in 2019. As we talked about earlier in the week, I'm going to run you through top level stuff. Obviously, go over to either the Fallout subreddit or Bethesda's website. You can see detailed roadmaps, all the different things. But Wild Appalachia is coming in spring 2019. A mythical beast, a lost generation of scouts, and the strongest brew this side of the wasteland. Welcome to Wild Appalachia. A series of new quests, features, events, crafting systems, and more starting on March 12th and appearing over several weeks. Then it's Nuclear Winter coming in summer 2019. Summer will bring another series of major updates to Fallout 76, including Nuclear Winter, an entirely new way to play that changes the rules of the wasteland. One of the bullet points I pulled out of here is a new feature called Legendary Players. An all-new prestige system will allow players above level 50 to become legendary, resetting their characters with all new, more powerful abilities. That sounds cool. And then, fall 2019 is bringing Wastelanders. Embark on a tale with true choice and consequences in Wastelanders, our biggest and most ambitious update for Fallout 76. Wastelanders will include a new main questline, new factions, new events, new features, and even more surprises. So that's good.
I think it's really easy to be snarky about Bethesda and Fallout 76 and all this, but like in my opinion, this is perfect messaging.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like be transparent, own your mistakes.
Yeah.
Be like totally like just take it on the chin. Just keep going. Just be like, look, we're giving it free. We're doing cool stuff. We believe in this. We're gonna keep going.
And as somebody who still follows the subreddit for it, like people are still playing and they are still having these adventures and they're mad still about not stupid things, little things and this, that, and the other. But like you got to speak to that base, right?
Yeah.
And everything they just listed there, I'm like, you know what? I should get back into Fallout 76.
What's very interesting to me,
will I? Who knows?
Is to look back at our conversations we had when it was all hot, when it was all happening, and we're super mad, and we're talking about like, well, Bethesda, are they able to have an E3 conference with how horrible this all? And now it's funny, like now let's calm down and think about it. It's like, yeah, they're gonna have an E3 conference. Like if they have stuff to show, it's like this isn't gonna affect it at all.
No,
people in the chat are gonna be a little shitty, but it's like that's not gonna affect anything on a grand scale.
Yeah.
It's just always realize that in the moment things seem a lot more shitty than they actually are.
I mean, it'll be interesting because I think It's still going to have to be a temperature on what's happening and where people think about it. And I know that there was questions that got written in today that I don't think made the cut because it was another kid wanting to talk about, not kid, you know how I call it kids, talking about Anthem and how both Anthem and Fallout, they got burned by two devs they felt that they, trusted, inherently with single player campaigns. Interesting. Before we go any further with the show, we're running along on the tooth because it's such a big news day. So I'm going to tell you about our sponsors. First, it's Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps of your smartphone. You can also view stock collections, such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, trade your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss out on the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Kinda Funny Games Daily a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at games.robinhood.com. That's games.robinhood.com. Next, Third Love. Third Love says, let's talk about bras. Using millions of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast size and shape in mind for an impeccable fit and incredible feel. Why is Third Love so good? The Fit Finder quiz. Third Love uses data points generated by millions of women who have taken their Fit Finder quiz to design bras with breast size and shape in mind for a perfect fit and a premium feel. Over 12 million women have taken the quiz to date, and you can answer a few questions in 60 seconds to find your perfect fit. It's fun, and it takes less than a minute to complete. Third Love helps you identify your size, your shape, and find styles that fit your body. But don't take my word for it. Take my wife's. She ordered from Third Love and loves the bra. Jen told me it doesn't feel cheap like most bra. It's meant to be worn strapless, but it still came with 2 sets of straps.
Joey almost exclusively wears Third Love. And a fun fact about Third Love, one of our most used promo codes of all time.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Your best friends coming through.
Be like everybody else. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering the listeners 15% off their first order. Go to thirdlove.com/games to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/games for 15% off today. Tim?
Yes.
I can't wait for more bras to come in and me to see the bras. But until then, I need something more current, like what came to the mom and grop shops today. Where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, Anthem on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We're streaming it this afternoon. Unexplored Unlocked Edition on Xbox One. Super Street the Game on Switch.
Super Street the Game.
Origami Shadow Edition on Switch. Quest for the Golden Duck on Switch. Digging Dragon on PC and Mac. Streets of Red, Devil's Dare Deluxe on PC. Gunpowder on the Teeth on PC. Sticky Bots is releasing on Mac and early access on Steam today. Sudden Strike 4 is getting the Pacific War DLC pack on PC, Linux, Macs, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. No new dates, no deals of the day for you.
No new dates,
Crazy.
no new deals. Wow.
Wowie, wow. I'm gonna look for one good question. You know what I mean? Because we're running long. I said, I'll bring it up here. Nanobiologist wrote in with a question about this rumor about the Anaconda and Lockhart at E3 this year. This would be Xbox's next console. The rumor is that it's gonna get revealed there, be released fall of 2020. We've talked a lot about Xbox and everything else, though. I don't want to get into that one. This is about sales and stuff. Then we got inside baseball questions. You want an inside baseball question?
Yeah.
Here we go. Dizza writes into patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says, my question pertains to being a content creator. I run a small-time gaming channel, about 3,700 subs, and I would like to find out the best way to approach game devs for early access to their games. Timing is critical, as you know, and as a creator, you need content out on day one. So, is it the community manager that I should be talking to or somebody else? Will publishers not consider a small fish like myself? What metrics are most important, and how strict are Sony with their allocation of early access keys? If this is not suitable for Games Daily, no, it is. No, don't worry, Dizzy, it's very suitable. We love talking about stuff like this. 3,700, not that small.
Yeah.
Way smaller things than that. Don't get me wrong with that. It varies thing to thing, person to person, what you do. As I've always said, Tim, if I was a content creator now, right, if I was starting right now, I would be specialized. I would only talk about open world RPGs, JRPGs, games as a service, right? I would build that repertoire, right? And so right there, if that's what you're doing right now, Dizza, That's a great start. And then, I think community managers are a great first step. And not even that, you can hit up a community manager and be like, hey, I run this channel. I only talk about these games, or I'm just interested in your game. Is there a PR person I should be talking to? That's where you should go. Because the community manager maybe, we're a small team. It's just me. I can help. What's up? Or they will say, oh, no, here's our press link, whatever. Go this way. The other big thing is, this is how I started when I was working at the Tribune and finally got my gaming column right, is just go to capcom.com and then click around until you find their press site.
Media,
and then find
PR,
everybody's got a press at Cap, and this is not, I don't think them, press at capcom.com, right? There's always you can find that general mailing list to hit them up and be like, hey, I'm doing this. I specialize in this. I'd love to talk about your game, and start building those relationships. You're right. The timing is key. So start early. Do not do this. Hey, the game comes out tomorrow. I'm going to hit them up today. Yeah. Bad idea. Start that conversation way out. You ask them the pertinent questions of, for me, it's always worked to be, understand our place is kind of funny. Hey, I know you're talking IGN and GameSpot. We'd love this many codes if that's possible. If not, let me know. If we could do this, if we could.
Yeah, I think being clear about your plan, but don't get too detailed. But just like explain your coverage plan. Like let them know what you're thinking of doing. Like I would love to get a code to preview and then review and like that stuff. Because then they're like, oh, okay, like there's actually going to be results from what's coming here. I'm not just giving you a game to play.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that's it. How strict is Sony with their allocation of keys? Pretty strict.
Very strict.
Yeah, I mean, as people who have worked, I've covered PlayStation for 12 years, and I still get, oh, well, you don't get this game. That game's, you'll get a code later. It went to press first, and only a few people have press. You're in the influencer bucket, so you'll get that. It's like,
then there's been other times where it's like, oh, you're an influencer?
Oh, it just rains codes. Like, how does it make no sense?
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
good show.
It has been a good show. It's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes into patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here, and the best friends come and find you.
I already read this one.
Damn it! No one did any more recently this week. I've been good about clearing out the thing this week, so no one squads up now. I hope you're happy. Everybody squad up on Barrett. Barrett, what's your PSN?
Breaking Gotham 42.
Breaking Gotham 42. Send Barrett love and requests and ruin
Maybe
his
I'll
friends
play
list.
some Anthem. Maybe I'll finally play Apex Legends because I still haven't played it.
Well, you're playing Anthem with me and Kev today, right?
Yeah, I am.
Nice.
Let's go.
Have you started it yet? No, you haven't, right?
I need to do that first mission or whatever.
It's fine. I can play for a while and screw around and free play while you guys do stuff.
Hell yeah, doggy dog.
Then it's time for You're Wrong. We ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames to go to kindafunny.com/You're Wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe. Unknown Raven hit us up and said Andy House left PlayStation amicably in 2017. Also correct. I knew what you're driving at. Reggie's a huge name, right?
Yeah.
And not that Andy House
He had a
wasn't.
little video, and that video was retweeted like 10
So good. You gotta watch that video.
times.
And then a couple other people chimed in acting like we missed up we missed the Anaconda Lockhart stuff. It's a rumor. I thought the other rumor of Games Pass was better because it would have like double confirmation or stuff like that. But they are pointing out, of course, the one thing I left out of that rumor was the idea that it'll be Halo Infinite will be a launch title. So that's something that is part of the rumor. But we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your final Kinda Funny Games Daily for the week. Next week, we'll be back. Hosts go like this. Monday, it's Tim. Tuesday, it's Tim. Wednesday, it's Witta. Thursday, it's Andrea. Friday, it's Tim. If you need
It's
out
Tim time. I think I'm good.
Okay, if you're not, I can grab Fran off the bench. You know what I mean? He'll come in here.
Franny boy. I've loved having Fran on the Games
He's
Cast.
really good.
His energy, like, who is this guy?
I like how much the kids like him. I look at the subreddit and like people are like, I'm really digging Fran.
He's good.
We need to make sure he's always in a mood before we start Gamescast.
Yeah.
The Fran mood is just.
Has Fran ever not been in the Fran mood? Like, don't get me wrong. I know he was like, especially. Super Fran, as Kev just said.
I don't know. Last week's Gamescast was I had never seen
the pre-show. I mean, you missed out on a lot. I
watched
you
the
go
pre-show.
back and watch. Oh,
I did
you?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
the SF Bags thing?
Yeah, SF Bags.
Yeah.
Kindafunny.com/SFBags if you want. I think it's closing really quickly to get that exclusive deal on that Nintendo Switch case. I digress. The screencast is up next. Then it's Anthem and Pizza. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.